What's up, everybody? How are you? This is the last installment for this video series that I've been doing called Raising or Raise Your Standards, right? How do we raise our standards? I have given you some tips up to this point. I believe it's been about nine tips. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wow, 9 tips so far. Today I'm going to add 3 more tips to that. So you're getting 12 tips on how to raise your standards, how to increase and or improve your quality of being and living on the planet, right? Who doesn't want to do that? So while everybody's coming in, I'm going to see if I can turn on music now, because I was trying to do it before, but it was trying to give me a little drama, okay? I'm going to turn on my little, it's just so cute, this little sound. Let's see, where is it? Hey, y'all, welcome to the conversation. We're going to continue. I think this is so cute. While everybody's coming in, I'm gonna play this music. What up? I hope I have it in me to teach again. I just got off of Instagram. Let's go, right? I gotta keep my energy pumped. Hey, everybody. What up, Shirley? You know Coach has been going hard to paint. Okay. Raising your standards. Who's ready? Okay. All right. I just thought I might play a little bit of music. Hey, Denise. A little bit of music while everybody started to populate. Girl, yes, Shirley. So I just got off of Instagram and taught about, thank you so much, Norman. Hey there. I just got off Instagram giving the last 3 tips for the video series, Raising Your Standards. This is in support of the next launch of a transformational journey at my online coaching school, Personal Power University. We are starting on September 25th, Tuesday. This Tuesday coming up. Almost time. I am narrowing down the people that are going to be in the program. It's a very small group, small tribe, but mighty, right? And we're going to go for 90 days of doing. We're going to get together, see if we can tackle a short-term goal together, and then I'm going to hopefully put them on track for their, well, not hopefully, we're going to put them on track to achieve their long-term goal, right? And then they get to be a part of the PPU family indefinitely, which is an invaluable, like, I don't even know how to put the price on that one, the value on being a part of the PPU family. It has just become such a beautiful space of support and inspiration. Welcome to the conversation, everybody. Yes, hey, Kimberly. Okay, yes, tune in later. Hey, James. Yes, I do need my gym time. I'm going to go to the gym. Hold on, let me turn that off. I am going, hey, Ken. I'm going to go to the gym after this, but I want to drop in and give you the last 3 tips in support of the video series, Raising Your Standards. So really quickly, I'm not going to sit in there. But just in case you missed the first 9 tips, I'm only going to mention them, maybe a little something here and there, okay? And then I'm going to mention the last 3. So, first tip that I gave you for raising your standards, giving yourself permission to dream again. A lot of people have abandoned what they want. Do you need to give yourself permission to go after your goal or your dream again? Have you given up on it? Have you put it on the back burner and just not gone back to it? And now I'm your reminder that says, hey man, that's what you want. That's going to up-level your living. That's going to give you real fulfillment. Do you need to give yourself permission to go after it again? I say, go for it. If it's something you know is going to bring you fulfillment, if you know it's something that's going to bring more peace to your world, if it's going to fulfill a passion, whatever it is, it's going to bring more value to your living. It's going to raise your standards by going after it, becoming who you need to become in order to have it. Go ahead and give yourself permission to go after it again. That was the first tip. Second tip, believe that it's possible. Do you believe it's possible? For me, belief is absolutely, I think for most champions, for most people who accomplish anything, but I'll speak for myself, belief is huge when it comes to going after something and leaving the space open to believe that it's even possible to happen. If you don't believe it can happen, how defeating is that thought? And would you be motivated to even go after it if you don't believe it's possible? You gotta believe it's possible. Even if you don't know how you're gonna get there. Especially if you don't know how you're gonna get there. The one thing that's gonna carry you over the threshold to get there is belief. Because then you gotta tell yourself, oh, this is what I would recommend. You tell yourself, I am going to attract the resources, the right people, the right information, whatever I need at the right time in order for me to take the next best step towards what I want to see for myself. Just claim it. Speak it over your circumstances. Speak it over your situation. Ask, what's already in your hand. Be resourceful. Be creative. But believe it's possible so that you can, your brain can open up and see things that maybe it normally wouldn't even see. But once you open up that there's a possibility, then it starts to zero in on how to close the gap from where you are to where you want to be. But if you shut yourself down from the outset, how are you going to get there? So belief is huge. Do you need to believe it's possible? Absolutely. To raise your standards. Yes. What are you guys saying before I move forward? I know, Shirley, isn't it? Wow. Okay. Pursue your dream of being in show business, but sadly ain't going to happen as long as I live in... Well, James, if you speak that kind of, if you speak that over your situation, then that goes against the tip I just gave, to believe that it's possible. This is only a fleeting moment in time. You can change that situation by making some new choices, right? And then once you make some new choices that put you in a different position, maybe the dream doesn't happen when you thought it would happen, but it happens right on time. It's still possible. You guys gotta believe it's possible. Okay. Okay, take care, Shirley. Thank you for the support. And rest well. Rest well. Hey, Tanya. Welcome to the conversation. Hey, Tamika, welcome to the conversation. The next tip that I gave for raising your standards was rituals. What rituals do you have? And do they serve you or work against you? When you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing that you do? How do you start your day? How do you continue your day? Did you know that if you put healthier rituals in your life, that it can make you more successful? Do you need to bring conscious awareness to what you currently do that may be on remote control? And maybe you need to break a pattern. Maybe you need to break a habit. But because it's on remote control, it's a ritual, you're not even paying attention. So I'm going to be your friendly reminder that says, hey, what are you doing in your life? What do you constantly do? What do you consistently do that's either helping you move towards your ideal or pointing you in another direction? And are you willing to do the work of identifying what's working for you or not working for you and increasing what's working for you, continuing to do that, adding onto that, and then releasing or doing away with the things that don't work for you? What rituals do you have? Hey, y'all, welcome to the conversation. Okay, next tip that I gave, because we're going through the first 9 that I gave you. We got 3 more today. Welcome to the conversation, everybody. Okay, health. How is your health? We need our health for the clarity, the energy, the power to go after what we want. When I explained this in the last video, when I was dealing with one of the worst times for myself in my adult life, I ate the best, even though I didn't have as much money. Because some people would say, well, how can you eat really good? It's really expensive. I was like, well, you got a plan, right? You may have to be a little bit Groundhog Day with it, like eat the same things kind of often till you learn how to be more varietous. As you get more information helps a ton. The more you know, the better you can do. But I didn't have as much information as I'd like to be as varietous with my foods, but I still endeavored to eat as good as I could eat and work out as often as I could because I knew I needed to, one, reduce some stress. As a good stress reliever, helps me to get in contact with some natural highs. If you do aerobic exercise over 25 minutes, you're going to get into releasing endorphins. But beyond that, energy begets energy. People might think, oh, if I work out, I'm going to be worn out. Actually, it's the opposite. You get yourself in gear. You give yourself more energy. You're going to have more energy. Generate energy. It's like circulation. It's very interesting. But you need more clarity. It's going to get the brain moving. It's going to get the blood circulation. It's going to help you to sweat, release toxins. All these things can support you. in moving towards a greater ideal, raising your standards. Hey, everybody. Yes, mental and physical health is huge. These are some good lifestyle nuggets you're sharing, Sora. Bless up. Thank you, Lauren, for the feedback. Okay, so health is paramount in getting you to raise your standards, to live a better quality life. The next tip that I gave for raising your standards, having more courage. We need courage to take these bold steps, right? Like there are many things that I've had to do. Sometimes I'm like, oh gosh, I can't back out of this, or and I gotta take the step. It scares the crap out of me, but I have to take action in spite of fear. That's courage. Doesn't mean that it's absent of fear. It just means that you take action anyway. And the way you want to do that is to support yourself with as much information and preparation as you possibly can for something. I mean, we can't safeguard everything. Whenever we're moving into the land of the unknown, whenever we're moving into a space of mystery, it can always cause some type of fear or anxiety, doubt or worry. But the more information you have, the more preparation you have, it'll afford you to take a calculated risk, a better step, a better next step. But you got to take a step. We got to be bold. Do I keep freezing? We got to be bold. So more courage is needed to raise your standards, because you're going to have to step into some unknown spaces. You're going to have to get comfortable being in the mystery of life, comfortable being uncomfortable. Where they do that at, right? More courage. Okay, next tip. Kindness, attitude. What is your attitude? Am I still freezing, you guys? Somebody give me some feedback. I see Denise said I keep freezing. Am I okay? Do I need to move? Fear manifests negative energy. Okay, I hope you guys can still see me, because I saw somebody say that I was freezing. Okay. What is your attitude? You may have seen me put up a snippet of a video yesterday from my talk on IG. And it was talking about attitude and what you're bringing to life, the space. It's like we can feel like, you know how I'm very sensitive. I can feel, thank you for the feedback, you guys. I can feel when an appliance is on in the room. Are you aware of that? Like when an appliance is on, maybe a TV, anything with like some kind of a vibration, sometimes you can feel it when it's on. I'm very sensitive to stuff like that. Sometimes that's how we feel when we walk into an environment with whatever energy we're wearing. You can radiate out like a satellite to the space. What are you wearing on you? What kind of energy do you have? And is it an attracting thing, or is it a repellent? What is your attitude towards life? Do you have like just a normal negative outlook on things? And because of that, before opportunity could even show up and present itself to you, you've already shut it down. Before someone could show up and be a blessing to you, you've already judged them based on some old thought that you're carrying forward and not letting this person show up fresh and just be who they really are. You don't know their story, right? We don't know their story. What kind of attitude? How open are you to what's in front of you? Do you bring love with you? Do you bring kindness? Do you practice kindness? Kindness, it takes practice, right? Especially in today's world, where a lot of things keep us desensitized. You see a lot of fighting, a lot of low vibrational energy happening on television, a lot of cyberbullying. I mean, a lot of this stuff can make you pessimistic. It can make you cynical if you're not careful. So you have to be conscious about what you're taking in, right? Step away from it, change your language, change what you're talking about, maybe how you're talking about it. Practice kindness, a space of allowance, meaning allowing someone or something to show up without judgment. What would happen if you did that? Practicing kindness, practicing a better attitude. How would your world change depending on the attitude you brought to it on a daily basis? Huge for raising your standards. Okay, next tip that I shared, relationships. How are the relationships in your life? Are they healthy? Are they toxic? Do they support where you're going? Do they work against you? Does it pose a block? Are there areas where you could stand to go and atone for something you've done? Clean something up, do some forgiving, allow some forgiveness? Because sometimes we don't even know that our emotional selves could be posing a block to our prosperity. The things we don't clean up, the grudges we hold, the guilt even maybe that you're carrying. Relationships. What relationships may need to be cleaned up or increased? Do you need to bring some new people into your world? Better relationships. Do you need to up-level your social circle? Do you need to reduce time with one group while increasing time with another? What relationships do you have in your life? And do they serve your greater good? Raising your standards. Yes? Okay. Next tip that I gave, self-discipline, so huge, so huge. Discipline is our ally. Do you do what you ought to do, even when you don't want to do it, so that you can see the results you want to see? That is discipline. Doing what you ought to do when you need to do it, even when you don't want to do it, so that you can see the results you want to see. How committed are you to taking action on a daily basis or however often you need to take it in order to see the results you want to see? What kind of discipline do you have in your life? If you know you need to increase a habit or do away with one that's working against you, are you willing to be persistent and consistent about it until you create a new habit or break down an old pattern and create a new one? The brilliant thing to me about life is that if we endeavor to just reprogram ourselves, recondition ourselves with new behavior patterns, new words that we speak, and we get on a repetitive pattern, they say repetition is the mother of all skill. Are you willing to do that so that you can reprogram yourself for greatness, for more success, for raising your standards? We can do that. It just takes self-discipline. How's your self-discipline? That was another tip. Okay, next tip that was given. Mentality, your mindset. What is your mindset like? What kind of mentality do you have? Does it lean towards more positive or empowered ways of viewing life or speaking about life? Or is it more of a negative, pessimistic, downtrodden, low vibrational thing? Are you aware of it? And what it could be producing for you that maybe you're not even taking responsibility for? Are you in the blame game and not taking responsibility for your results? What new behaviors could you pick up? What new thought patterns could you pick up that would change that? What new ways could you speak about things or reduce or not or eliminate speaking about certain things if you know it's just negative? Can you change how you speak about it? Where's your focus majority of the time, right? Are you focused on the glass half full or the glass half empty? Or you know how I love that quote that says gratitude turns what we have into enough. If we're looking at what's working for us, how do we have time to look at what's not working for us unless we consciously choose to do that? Gratitude turns what we have into enough. So what is your mentality? How do you see the world? Do you default to negative thinking or do you default to a more positive or empowered outcome? Do you look for the good in a person or do you always look for the bad? Mentality is huge as it pertains to being able to raise our standards, raise the quality of our thinking, change the quality of our thinking, improve the quality of our thinking, improve the quality of our being. Okay. Today's last 3 tips for raising your standards. Set goals. Sounds simple, right? But a lot of people do not have an ideal that they're going after. And so life just becomes boring and just this hamster wheel, it becomes a Groundhog Day. You're just doing wash and repeat. with nothing else, nothing pushing you to become a greater version of yourself, nothing stretching you to be of service to someone else or something else, nothing making you have to grow into something to become more. Setting goals is huge when it comes to raising your standards, because you probably have to become more to get to the goal, to actualize it, to have it manifested. And then if you really want to get gangster with it, put some deadlines on it. That's what makes the goal real, because now not only do you have an ideal that you've chosen for yourself, something greater for yourself that you want to get to, but now you got a date on it. I got to get there by then. Okay, so what action steps do I need to put in between now and then to close the gap of manifestation for it? What 3 to 5 action steps can I put underneath this goal, this ideal that I want for myself? And then what dates am I going to put next to those action steps so that I get it done? As a matter of fact, y'all know I love this quote: never leave the sight of a goal without doing something towards its accomplishment. So when this video goes off, what action step can you take today, tonight, right now, that will get you one step closer to your dream, to your goal, to your ideal, the life you want to live? Is it a phone call? Is it an email? Is it to just drop down and give them 20, honey? You know what I'm saying? What is going to get you to your goal? What's the next best step that you can take that's going to get you to your goal? And are you willing to take action on it now? Not procrastinate. Just do it. Do what's hard, especially if it's hard. Break a pattern. Create a new habit by doing it now, by doing it when it's uncomfortable, by doing it when you don't feel like it. Break the pattern so that you start training yourself, conditioning yourself to take action. Who's willing to do that? Bless up, Lauren. Thank you, Tamika. Right? Setting goals is huge. And then if you want to go greater with that, put deadlines on those goals. Set your goal, say what you want, right? Put your goal up on top and write it down. Write it down. Write it down. Because we are master distractors and master distracted. There are weapons of mass distraction out there constantly, ready and willing to take your focus once you give it to them. The emotional engineers are waiting with bated breath behind the bushes right now, waiting for you to give you their attention so that they can distract you and take you and put your mind, put your focus, put your beautiful, powerful energy on their agenda. So write it down. Make it real. Keep it present. Put it on the refrigerator. Put it on the bathroom mirror. Put it on the dash of your car. Wherever you need to put it in order to remind yourself of where you're going and why you're going there. Put your action steps there. Put your deadlines there so that you don't forget. Write it down. Get into the vision of it. Believe it as much as you can. Feel it so that it feels like it's possible and that it can happen. Engage all of your faculties as much as you possibly can, so that you can put yourself on track for attracting it, attracting the resources, the people. There's this great analogy I love to tell you guys about. You know how you can walk outside the door and somebody could ask you, my friend's getting ready to come in, so I'm going to tell her that we're on the video. But somebody could ask you to look at all the cars that are passing by. And they say, just identify what you see. So you may see a silver Nissan. You may see a black Cadillac. You may see a big semi over there. Maybe a red Pathfinder, right? And then they say, okay, just focus on all the red cars. So now the brain says, oh, mission, goal. Now I got to focus and get the red cars only. Now the brain only sees red. So now you see the red Pathfinder. You see the red Cadillac truck. You see the red little car over here. You see this other red car that's over there. And they say, okay, hey, now I want you to tell me, did you see that silver truck that passed by? And you're like, no, I only saw the red cars. That's what focus does. That's what setting a goal does. The brain has something, a target to focus on. It gets to zero in. And then the billboard that you pass every day on remote control that you never pay attention to, if it has something to do with your goal that can help you achieve your goal, you're probably going to see it now because it's attuned to look for ways to close the gap from where you are to where you're going. That's what focus does. That's what setting goals does. That's what, giving yourself action steps and deadlines. Now your brain and every part of you is looking for ways to close the gap to get your goal accomplished. Hold on one second. Hey, Keisha, I'm live. Just let me know.
My friend is here. I was going to give her. Can she come into the house real fast?
Sure.
She used to work with me.
She's up. You want to say hi?
No.
Michael says hi, Keisha.
Hi.
Okay. Right? So setting a goal, putting yourself on a deadline, giving yourself focus is huge, right? And it can charge you to go after what you want because now you got direction, right? You've got structure. Okay. Next tip for today, helping you to raise your standards. Set boundaries. Have you set boundaries? Good, clear boundaries for yourself in your life? And are they in alignment with, are your boundaries in alignment with your value system? Do you even know what your value system is? What do you value? Because that's a good way to start from, a good place to start from in setting boundaries. And sometimes we think that when you're setting a boundary, it's about setting boundaries for other people. But what about setting boundaries for yourself? How are you? What about setting boundaries for yourself? Sometimes we might think that we need to set a boundary on what the foods that you're eating. If you got a weight goal, or if you have an energy goal, if you have a powerful health goal for yourself, you might need to set boundaries for yourself. We might need to learn how to treat ourselves better first with boundaries than before we even worry about giving the next person some boundaries for us. Right? They're walking around doing a tour. And they're trying to be quiet. I hear y'all. You know what I'm saying? So have you set good boundaries for yourself to operate in? And then once you're in tune with your own value system and what you want for your own life, then set boundaries with other people, right? But a good way to know what boundaries to set is to be in touch with your value system. What brings you real fulfillment? What brings you real joy? What brings you real peace? What do you need to say no to in your life? What do you need to say yes to in your life? That's another good way to set some boundaries. And if you don't reason yourself out of your first mind because maybe it's not producing the answer you think you want to hear, are you willing to take action on what your gut tells you to do? What do you need to say no to? And what do you need to say yes to? Welcome to the conversation, everybody. Setting boundaries can be huge for raising your standards. If you don't have very good boundaries, you might not be getting very good results in your life. Better boundaries, better results, better standards, better living, better quality living. Okay, last tip. Join groups or foundations that have higher standards. Is there a foundation or group that you can join that operates from a greater ideal? They have their value system is in love. And so you operate from that vibration when you work for or with them. They might be a peace foundation. So you operate at that vibration when you work for or with them. Can you be of service in some way, shape, or form to other people? And so that stretches your perception or your perspective about yourself. It gets bigger than you. By you going after your dreams, who else does it serve? Who else does it help? How do you become greater? You become a greater person, right, when you go after your dreams. If you make it bigger than yourself, who else does it serve? Who else can it help that you're going after your dream? That you're connected with this organization or this group that operates at a higher ideal. That's going to raise your standards. It's going to also up-level your social circle. You're going to be hanging around a different crowd, a different energy on a consistent basis. That can really, really help you to raise your standards and to experience a better quality living. Isn't that awesome? These are great ways to raise the standards in your life. Create a better ideal to go after. Give yourself a reason to get up in the morning and be glad about it. Not just on some hamster wheel. Wash and repeat. Living a life that has no goal, no nothing. Just nothing to look forward to. Not serving anybody but your own needs, your own self. That's an easy way to get depressed, too. Make it bigger than you. Who else does it serve? How else does it feed the greater good that you go after what you want for yourself? Ooh, that's a good question. How else does it serve the greater good? How else does it serve the good of other people that you're going after your dream? Who do you need to become to step into your ideal, your dream, your goal? What skills do you need to pick up and gather and be consistent about every day? What do you need to be relentless about when it comes to changing a habit or a way that you speak about life or a way that you think about life that's sabotaging opportunities, sabotaging your ability to believe in yourself, sabotaging your ability to go after something because you're afraid, because the doubt, the negative mental chatterbox that just be running on remote control has not been put the reins on it and trained to get quiet or go away. I mean, when you think about it from this perspective, raising your standards with these things suggested, we got plenty things to do, right? There's plenty to do. And a greater life is on the other side of it. Greater purpose is on the other side of it. You're creating purpose by doing this stuff, by raising your standards. I think that's pretty dope. You guys have any questions of me before I get out of here? I hope you liked today's tips. I'm about to reach out to somebody else who is asking about PPU. Starting on September 25th, our next transformational journey. Will you be joining us? Tomorrow, I'm closing down registration. 12 weeks with Coach Ro and 12 weeks with your tribe that goes with you on this journey. Give yourself the opportunity to go after what you really want. Take a bold step. Do something different if you need to. If this is for you. Write yes in these comments or just send me a private message. Let me know that you're interested and I'll take it from there. I'm about to go work out at the gym after I make my phone call and raise my standards. Okay, you guys. If you don't have any questions of me, I'm glad you got value from it, William. If you don't have any questions of me, I'm out of here. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for joining in on the conversation. I hope you got much value. All the best to you. Bye.